Yes, it wasn't me, trust me. A song with him 99.9, and it's now 15 minutes after the hour of 12 p.m. At this time, we have our mini news coming to you with the kind compliments of courts and
I saw of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We
Good afternoon and welcome to VFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Get ready for back to school with Quartz Optical. Shop Ray-Ban, Armani, Converse, Vogue, and much more. Teachers and students get 40% off credit purchases. Wear it today and pay us later. Book your eye examination appointment online today on quartzoptical.com. Walk-ins welcomed. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Offers end August 30th, 2025. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to VFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. First, on the local scene, police is investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of Ethaniel Montague, a 19-year-old unemployed resident of Diamonds. Montague was last seen between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. on Saturday, August 9th at Canash Beach. On Sunday, August 10th, his body was discovered in the waters of Blue Lagoon by personnel from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Coast Guard Service. He was subsequently pronounced dead by the district medical officer, and permission was granted by the magistrate for the removal of his body to the Kingston mortuary. A post-mortem examination will be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. The RSVGPF is encouraging anyone with information that can assist investigation continues. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Paraguay, by local sailor Scarlett Hadley. Described as a rising sailing talent by the SVG Sailing Association, Hadley is being coached by sailing Olympian Andrew Lewis from Trinidad and Tobago. Now in its second edition, the Junior Pan American Games sailing events are scheduled for August 15th to 17th at San Jose Beach in Encarnacion. The SVG Sailing Association said the games serve as a powerful developmental platform promoting young talent while replicating aspects of Hadley will be competing in the women's single-handed. Notes that the games bring together top athletes from across the Americas, providing a stepping stone towards elite international competition. Still on the local scene, VGPF is investigating the circumstances surrounding a fatal house fire in the community of Diamond. Approximately 6:06 a.m. on Saturday, August 9th, 2025, officers received the reports of a fire in the area. Officers and firefighters were dispatched to the scene where the structure was found engulfed in flames. The blaze was extinguished, however, the building and its contents. Keith Roy Danzel, a 33-year-old laborer, and Nikita Haynes, a 50-year-old domestic, both residents of Diamond, were pronounced dead at the scene by the district medical officer. The scene was processed by personnel from the Criminal Investigations Department. A post-mortem examination is expected to be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. The authorities are dedicated to determining the circumstances that led to this tragedy and encourages anyone with information to come forward. On to news in the region. Barbados is hosting the first ever Inter-American Drug Abuse Control Commission CICAD conference to be held in the English-speaking Caribbean. The conference, which begins today, will run until Thursday at Accra Beach Hotel and Spa in Rockley, Christchurch. This positions the island to play a pivotal role in shaping policy to govern drug use, abuse, and trafficking in the region. The conference is the 26th annual meeting of CICAD's Demand Reduction Experts Group, being co-hosted by the Organization of American States. Manager of the National Council on Substance Abuse, Betty Hunt, said that CICAD has elected Barbados as chair, the first for an English-speaking Caribbean country. Representatives from 33 countries in the hemisphere are coming together to consider drug use and the trends, as well as the technical support required to best respond to what is happening in the market. The St. Lucian government has reassured consumers who are skeptical about whether businesses will actually lower prices under the government's new zero-rated VAT policy that they will closely monitor supermarkets and shops to ensure savings are passed on. The policy, which took effect on August 2nd, removes VAT from 70 everyday goods, a movement to ease cost of living pressures. But with many shoppers wary that retailers might not adjust their prices accordingly, Director of Consumer Affairs Wendy Frederick said her team has been tracking costs before and after the change. Frederick said that the department mobilized its complaints and investigation officers to gather data from supermarkets and shops nationwide. She added that the department will continue monitoring prices to assess whether the VAT savings are being reflected in what consumers pay at the checkout. The zero-rated VAT policy is part of a broader package of government support measures aimed at helping citizens cope with increasing living costs. On the international scene, a U.S. woman who was hired as a killer and tried to shoot a man in the UK at point-blank range was found guilty of conspiracy to murder. Amy Beatrow from Wisconsin flew into the country as part of a plot to attack a British family in Birmingham in 2019, before going on the run for nearly 5 years. Her co-conspirators had been involved in a feud with the family of the intended target, Sikandar Ali. During the case at Birmingham Crown Court, jurors heard Beatrow hid her identity using a niqab when she tried to fire shots, but her gun jammed and Mr. Ali fled the scene unharmed. Jurors deliberated for almost 21 hours before convicting Beatrow of conspiracy to murder, possession of a self-loading pistol with intent to cause fear or violence, and illegally importing ammunition. She was found guilty by a majority verdict on the conspiracy to murder and firearm charges, and by a unanimous verdict on the ammunition charge. Finally, in sports, world number 1 Yannick Sinner played through a fire alarm to beat Gabriel Jallo and reach the 4th round of the Cincinnati Open. The alarm began to sound and lights started flashing in the second game of the second set, but the pair agreed to play through it after a delay of several minutes. 23-year-old Sinner remained composed and booked a spot in the last 16 with a victory against the Canadian. Sinner is set to face French qualifier Adrian Manarino as the Italian looks to build momentum for the US Open later this month. This has been VFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Shanika Stapleton. Join us. VFM's Midday News came to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Make back-to-school shopping easy with Quartz Ready Cash. Get a chance to win a laptop plus free school supplies with every Ready Cash loan. No security required, quick approval, and hassle-free within 24 hours. Apply today and get everything you need to get them ready for the new term. Visit us in-store or apply online at www.quartz.com. Quartz Ready Cash. Ready when you